Okay, another problem from section 2.6. They give us a function f of x and they ask us to find the third derivative of this function. Okay, well, it's not going to be quite as bad as the last one, which we only computed the second derivative because this function's a lot simpler. So what about the first derivative? Okay, well, we take the derivative of the original function, x to the fifth minus 3x to the fourth. Okay, and by now you could probably do a lot of derivatives like this just in your head, right? Because what do I do here to compute the derivative? Well, the sum and difference rules tell me that when I'm adding and subtracting, you just take the derivative of each term and then add or subtract together. The derivative of x to the fifth is 5x to the fourth, using the power rule. Okay. And then I'm going to have minus 3 times the derivative of x to the fourth, which is 4x cubed, again, using the power rule. So I actually used a couple of rules here. You know, first of all, I took the derivative of each one separately. This one I could just go ahead and do. And then when I took the derivative of this term, I first factored out the 3 and then took the derivative of x to the fourth using the power rule. Okay. Seems like a lot, but when you really get to doing these, you know, kind of in your head, if you're comfortable enough to do that, then you'll find that you have a lot less writing to do in the bigger problems like what we're seeing now. Okay, so the first derivative is just 5x to the fourth be minus 12x cubed. Okay. Now we need the third derivative, so we have to get the second derivative and then the third derivative. Well, what's the second derivative? It's the derivative of the first derivative. Okay, so I just take the derivative of this thing we just found. Okay. Well, again, I've got two terms, and both of them can be differentiated separately. I have a constant in front of each now, but basically to take the derivative of the power of x, just the power rule. Okay. So the derivative of 5x to the fourth is 5 times the derivative of x to the fourth, 4x cubed, okay, minus 12, okay, times the derivative of x cubed, which is 3x squared. Okay, so that's going to be 20x cubed minus 36x squared. Okay, and that's already the second derivative. Okay, well, what about the third derivative? Okay, this is the one that we're asked to find, f prime 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 of x. Okay, well, it's the derivative of what we just found. It's the derivative of the second derivative. So I take the derivative of 20x cubed minus 36x squared. If you're okay with the last two, then certainly you know what to do here. The derivative of 20x cubed is going to be 20 times 3x squared. And here, the derivative of 36x squared is going to be 36 times 2x, or 2x to the power 1. So I get 60x squared minus 72x. Okay, that is f prime 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 of x, the third derivative of this function.